The Facebook Marketplace is a wonderland. I found this badass looking ATX desktop computer case. It's full aluminum. It's a little in the style of an old Power Mac. And yeah, I think it looks awesome. And I want to use this as a basis for a audio recording workstation. Side panels come off just like this. Very user friendly. So there's a fan installed here. There is a twin set of fans here. And the first thing that strikes me as unusual, there is no regular spot for your power supply. Instead, the power cable runs through the case here, through the chassis, to a compartment here underneath two 3.5-inch drive bays. There's a spot for a power supply, so that's going to be interesting. And I'm going to document how this goes. So little by little I'm going to build this out with parts that I get on the marketplace or on sale at Newegg, Best Buy, whatever. And I'm planning to go with a micro ATX board here, an AMD, like a Ryzen 7 or so. I won't need dedicated graphics. Yeah, and then we'll see. There's some room here for cable management. Now my first challenge is to figure out how this power supply actually gets in here. I'm assuming, first time I see this type of case, I'm guessing this comes off. If anyone's interested, this is a Rosewill. The case is a Rosewill Legacy MX, I believe. It's not made anymore, so I guess you can only find this used. I can't say yet if this is a good case. We'll see how difficult it is to work with, but it sure looks awesome. Here. I think that whole cage may come out. That's not all. Mysterious. I think maybe this screw here. Something's moving. Huh? Look at that. Oh, no. Okay, the person was nice. Okay, they just secured the screws for the power supply here, so they won't get lost. So the guy who sold me that was a good dude. So this is a cage, or a little cage. It's gonna hold the power supply. You'll find it a little bit surprising because normally your power supply has a fan, right? So it's a little bit odd because normally you want that fan blowing out of the case. I'm not sure how well that's gonna work here. No, honestly, I didn't expect this computer to get under too much stress. I'm gonna do my plan is to do some light home recording with it. Audio home recording. Shouldn't be a high power stress scenario. Oh no, it's actually fine. Now it blows out fine enough, fair enough. Because the power supply's fan is intake and out is here, and it's gonna blow out through that grid here. Comes out here at the bottom. Should be okay. Oh, this way. This way would be good. This way would be good. Not this way, because then the fan would point towards the back panel here where the motherboard's mounted. Motherboard's mounted here, but still would point towards the back panel. We want it here on the side with a little more clearance. I got this Corsair power supply also off of the marketplace. I actually bought a computer that had this in it, and I just kept the power supply, and I had some older DDR3 memory that I used for something else, and then I sold the rest back onto the marketplace. Okay, that's not bad. Well, the challenge is gonna be, this is not a modular power supply. It's too cheap for that. How to tuck it all away here. And this comes from the back panel of the case. It needs to plug in here, obviously. Like this. I'm gonna run the whole bunch of power cables here through this cutout here. Lift it up. Feed one by one through that. Not sure that's in camera, through this cutout here. Okay, so I fed all the cables through the cutout, now coming out here. How was it? Oh boy. I wonder where is that gonna fit? Okay, so it's good if you have a situation like this. It's good when you have a workspace like this. I can slide this slightly over the edge of my countertop here, so I can pull at the bottom I can pull the cables and help feeding them through here a little bit, because this all jumbles up, of course. Oh, this is awful. See, here's the problem. Every time I get this in place, some cable starts wedging in here. So for now, I'm not convinced that this case is particularly great design. It's not exactly an easy installation. For something as simple as a power supply, shouldn't be a challenge. But it is workable. All the cables are pulled through. Nothing's stuck anywhere, and the power supply is back in here. Yeah, so I wouldn't say this is an amazing design. It sure looks good, but this is more complicated than it has to be. Also, a little side note, if your power supply is a switch like this one, turn it on before you install it here, because you can't reach the switch anymore. The switch is down here. Okay, now we can screw this back in. Now the actual power cable is fed through here, and it's a little bit too long. I don't really want to, I guess I can tuck it in here. I mean, there is some, yeah, it's not gonna obscure the airflow, at least not significantly. I'm just gonna tuck it in here, I guess. I have no idea how old this is. I found it online when I googled Rosewill Legacy MX, and I know the company still exists and they make cases and a few other parts, but they don't make this one anymore. It clearly looks like an attempt to make something as cool as the old PowerMac G5. From back in the day when Apple was still good. Anyway, I don't want anything to do with Apple stuff. I want an ATX machine, and I wanted something that is cheap and looks slick. So far, mission accomplished. Okay, so everything is two two open spaces here with these rubber dust covers to feed what I'm gonna need, and I'm not gonna need a lot. This is 24 pin power for the motherboard. Tuck this in here. I really should have gotten with a modular power supply, because the only other thing I'm gonna need is CPU power. I might need SATA power for an extra drive, and it's going to be here, and my main drive is going to be an M.2 anyway, going to be installed right on the motherboard. So the rest for now I just have to tuck away here somehow. This looks like a space for another additional 3.5-inch drive. If you can, if you have the chance, if you have the budget, always buy a modular power supply, because this here is a disaster. For today, I'm going to leave it at this. And take more care of this when the motherboard comes in.